You're watching the Lotus Boxers. What's happening, YouTubers? Lotus Boxers here. You got Bertarioni
and Zan Syed.
And today we're looking at a very special deck that Zan's been working on for a long time, named after a movie. Zan, what's this deck called?
Shrek.
This is Shrek. Shrek 2. I like that. Yeah. I like that. So the first version of Shrek, for those of you who don't know, was kind of based on this idea of when we were playing Dark Depths. A lot of people said, "Man, I can never beat Knight of the Reliquary. If there's ever a Knight of the Reliquary, I can never win." And if we're playing other decks, just the Wrenn and Six Wasteland combo, like we never beat it. So I was like, all right, I would love to just play in Legacy a Knight of the Reliquary Wrenn and Six deck. And Casey also had this thought, I guess. Casey Lancaster is a Northern United States-based Legacy guy. And he built something similar to lands, except for it had Life from the Loam and Exploration.
It was like this.
This is Shrek. But we've since then thought the Exploration and Life from the Loam were kind of slow. And our creatures are actually winning a surprising number of games. So Shrek 2 is kind of less like lands, more like Maverick, but we're still NAYA.
And we still got the lands package.
So Zan, tell me a little bit about what I'm missing here. What's great about this deck?
So I have to give credit to Abe Corrigan and Evan Whitehouse of our team as well. They worked on it with Casey. Let's talk about the deck now. So talking about the deck, we got the Wrenn and Six, Knight of the Reliquary, as Jeremy stated, but Elvish Reclaimer, the hidden hero of this deck. This card really feels like Deathrite Shaman, honestly. But it's a 1/2 body, also an elf. Being able to become a 3/4 at any moment is kind of scary.
I believe you. And, utility in making the Dark Dust package, this is just like a quality 1-drop. Don't hate those. All in all, this deck seems like pretty solid. We have Swords to Plowshares as like a good way to get another Reliquary. A lot of decks you never beat. And it's kind of a nombo, but Gaddock Teeg is really good against Storm. There's like no finisher that they can cast. So game 1, you get a win against Storm if you can cast a green Sun where X equals 2.
Yep.
Maybe kind of a lot to ask. Not that much if you have a Mox Diamond, right? It's turn 2. So that's kind of what we got going on in the main deck. Zan, talk to us about the sideboard.
So we got this Dahlia and Thorn package for Storm. What else? Combo matchups, like Sneak and Show. Sneak and Show is probably our worst matchup. That's why we have so many slots dedicated to it. But we have Leyline for Hogak and Dredge. Also good against Storm. And then we got Force of Vigor, which gets us out of like the Blood Moons and the Chalices. And then Collector Oof, which really, really shuts down basically the new
Grim Monolith deck.
Monolith deck.
Karn, the Great Creator.
The deck is very,
Grim Monolith
powerful.
Voltaic deck. Tireless Tracker kind of always lands tech, just like good if they're boarding against your lands package. You just like Tireless Tracker, they take out some ways to deal with it.
Yeah. I'm still not sure if this card is good in the deck, but I think that having access to, putting a dude into play and trying to accumulate 2 cards from it is better than Knight at times, especially when you think that your opponent is holding on to Abrupt Decay, Fatal Push, Assassin Trophy, etc. But yeah, so that the deck is, I would say, probably one of the hardest decks I've ever played. I actually played it in Atlanta, but Shrek won and finished 11-3-1. Solid finish, but I would say the games were very complicated because you're tutoring for tutors that tutor for lands.
Whoa.
So it's a lot of, like, you green sun into Elvish Reclaimer, but it doesn't stop there because you're going to be reclaiming for other stuff. Some important things to remember are all these utility lands. Step, being able to protect your Reclaimers and Knights. You got Maze of Ith, which allow you to, with Knight of the Reliquary, basically take on 2 creatures. Karakas, being able to bounce other people's Emeralds, Gristlebrand's, 2020s. You got Horizon Canopy, which you can draw an extra card. You can make a 2020 with this and Thespian Stage, Blast Zone, Bojuka Bog. Just gotta remember all of the tricks. But yeah, The deck is super tricky.
Yeah, it's a super tricky deck. It's a lot of fun. I like Knight of the Reliquary a lot. Without further ado, I guess let's just hop into games and show them what Shrek's all about.
Let's do it.
All right, so here we go. This is game one. We have a... Zan, what do you think?
Broken hand.
Broken hand. All right, sounds good. Are we first? We're second. It's not good in Legacy. We could lose right here.
Yeah, we could. But that fear, I think, is the primary reason why a lot of people lose more than they should.
Wow. All right. Show us the Elvish Spirit Guides. You win.
What?
I hope this isn't the Culling the Weak deck.
Well, I hope they show us Elvish.
Why?
And then they'll make a 2020 and we'll swords it.
No, they're playing the like Culling the Weak deck.
Okay.
You don't even expect that.
Alright, so you know what would put us in a bad spot here? If they had Stifle plus Daze.
Okay.
So they would Daze this.
They just wouldn't pay, right?
Huh? So we wouldn't pay?
Right. Now we'll probably still not pay. Do you don't want to make it a Reclaimer?
I do want to play Reclaimer. But do I want to play 2 Reclaimers?
Nah. What's the rush?
Yeah, I don't feel a rush either. I'll play that 1 Reclaimer.
Our opponent led on Volcanic Island, so what's like the worst thing that can happen to us here?
Well, I already said what the worst thing that can happen is. Well, that's pretty great for us.
Opponent has 2 cards in their hand, so I'm pretty comfortable here getting our Reclaimer online.
Yeah, I'm going to play the other Reclaimer. If they want Stifle here, this would be bad. But no Stifle. We'll just get a Forest.
Play around Wasteland. I like it. Original, but bold.
If they had a Bolt, I think they would have not forced a Vault, so feel pretty safe. If they had not... Oh, wow. Well, that's bad for us.
Maybe they drew the bolt. If we draw a land, we're in a good spot. We have like 30 in our deck, so you know.
Yeah, I mean they're down to one card. Playing Teamer Delver, and we got some great cards. All right, wow, that's great.
Let's make a Reclaimer. You have to imagine that the card in their hand is a threat, like a Delver or a Tarmogoyf. It can't be a Delver, obviously.
Could be.
All right, we're both on 0.
Well, we have 3 cards.
Right, we're both on nothing on board, and we both have 3 cards in our hand.
Spellsnare was a good last card to have, I guess. We're still doing great. Draw land, we're in a good spot. That's not the best draw.
I think we cast it.
Yeah, because it turns off Force of Will.
Yep. Makes it more likely that our Knight of the Reliquary resolves.
Yeah.
Oof.
Great.
True name.
Oh, true name would be terrible.
Wrenn.
Wrenn doesn't do anything.
Mm-mm. And we can pressure it.
Land. Oh, wow. That's a good draw.
That's a good draw. Wow, this is a really weird game, right? Because our 2 one-of creatures that are like utility creatures that wouldn't ordinarily even just be in against Reg Delver are going to be like total beats.
Yeah. Scavengers is just MVP. It's going to be an MVP. It beats out even Tarmogoyf right now. Pretty easily.
Is it easily? We only eat 2 things. Oh, because we get to munch the Reclaimers, and it's a 4/4 versus a 3/4. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, great.
That was a good draw.
That was a great draw.
But land is still just an amazing draw for us, so we're in a good spot.
Yeah. This step being in the yard kind of feels bad.
I mean, why? Because we can't crop rotation for it?
Yeah. Oh, well.
That's whatever.
That's a great
Let's get it back then, if you're really mad about it.
Not that mad about it. But I think I will minus on the Wrenn.
Yeah.
Instead of plus and get our land.
Yeah, because we can always plus next turn. They'd have to draw 3rd bolt. And Legacy is a lot of this, viewers. It's a lot of thinking, like, you know, what could they draw? What's the best way to sequence? We actually ran them out of threats pretty easily here, just because they mostly didn't have threats, right? Like, Force Will's a 2-for-1. Obviously, they took some mulligans because they only had like 2 cards in their hand after they Force Willed. So we're in a good spot.
Well, that happens quite often, you know? You have more Wrens than they do, and you can play them more efficiently.
Yep.
You also have a Loam, Sylvan Library.
So we kind of got lucky here on the mulligans, but, you know, let's try to capitalize, do our best.
Oh, that's a good draw.
Yeah, I mean, you just waste them off of red and then green. And that's probably the concession, right?
Yep, unless they drew a bolt. Cool. Easy game.
So the way that works, folks, with Wrenn and Six is you can just tick up and Wasteland them every turn. Delver usually can't keep up with that type of effect.
But we can keep up with them because we can often go get a Bojuka Bog.
Yep. Alright. Red Elemental Blast, Power Blast, and Cavern Souls definitely come in against Delver.
Yep.
Anything else? Anything crazy? I don't think I see anything else I would want.
Probably board out this Gaddock Teeg.
Yeah.
Not that great.
Board out the Teeg.
Knight of Autumn. Not that great.
And then one of our lands that doesn't do anything, right? So it's between Karakas and I like Blast Zone kind of because it can kill Delvers.
Yeah. I like the Karakas because it's still white. I think we can board out 1 depths.
Ooh, crazy. But okay.
Yeah. Because now we're playing 2 depths.
Oh,
before we used to play 1.
Alright. Seems good. And that's 60. Easy 3 in, 3 out.
So
we typically have a good Delver matchup, right, Zan? Talk to me about it.
So I played against it 4 times this past weekend. I did not lose to it at all. I think that it's a really difficult matchup for them to navigate. And yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why you should consider playing this deck, because Rug Delver is going to remain the most popular deck.
Oh.
Yeah, even though Storm won this past weekend in Atlanta, it's too hard of a deck for everybody to pick up. But Delver, it's everyone's baby. It's the gem of the format.
Oh. What I like about this hand is we have Loam and Diamond. It's like pretty good generally, and we can answer 2 of their threats as long as they're not treating Nemesis. So like we Swords their first Delver after we get life from the Loam like going, and eventually we'll just lands them out. Like that seems like a way to win this game.
Yep, I agree. I think that Swords is phenomenal in the matchup, and then Loam is not phenomenal, but we have Mox Diamond, so we can aggro it out.
Aggro Loam. Shout out to Brandon Chang for inventing Aggro Loam.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then remember it was like 2 years ago, and it was like a new tournament or whatever, and I was in a team tournament, and me and my teammate were like, "It's called that because he loams aggressively."
Nice.
Our opponent's name is Traft, potentially after the Geist of Saint.
Trapped.
What's your favorite song from Shrek?
This is Doomed Artisan. What is my favorite song from Shrek?
Ah, yes, Doomed Artisan, the card that makes sculptures.
So I'll start off by playing this Verdant. Play this. I'm in to discard the Savannah.
Savannah, oh na na. You remember that? It's a song from Cardi B.
Very great song. Very good.
Cool. Bye, Savannah. All our mana's intact. And then Loam is great because if they counter it, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Facts.
Facts. Quick maths.
I honestly don't
Mind if they Wasteland? Yeah, same.
So that's the reason why we're getting it. Give them the opportunity to mess up.
Just put them so far behind. They did keep a full 7 this time. Doomed Artisan, of course, the card that makes sculpture tokens, and then when it dies, the sculptures can attack or block. Because an artist's work gets a lot better after they died. It was a little controversial when it first came out because the flavor text sort of alludes to that the Doomed Artisan is trying to like sculpt his ideal self, but he has a robot arm and the sculptor doesn't. And so some people were like, hey, this might like come across a little sideways to amputees because like it's trying to say that like a full ideal self is somebody who's intact.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything, that's just a lesson that we all need to be careful and watch that type of behavior. Make sure we don't offend anybody.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on loaming here?
I think that it's better than a draw, right? Like, get all these lands back. Actually, that doesn't do anything. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm just going to draw.
Okay. Well, yeah, that was much better than a loam.
That was pretty good.
I still want to play Swords to Plowshares here. Just because, like, you know, we play around Days this way, which he probably kept in because he's on the draw.
Yeah, and if he forces here, I feel pretty great.
Yep, we should get to do another one. Now there's no pressure on us, so we can make our land drops.
Pretty great. Another Tarmogoyf usually would be kind of bad for us, but not really. We have some pretty great cards. We'll go for the Swords.
Okay. Yeah, this plays around Days on both ends of the spells we want to resolve. Might see the Force here. Nope.
Oh, that's a good draw.
That's a good thing we never dredged.
Human.
Is it human? Do we still have Knight of Autumn in our deck?
We do not.
Okay, then it's human.
Oh.
The NAYA Lightsaber. And of course this guy's right outside of bolt range, which is just where we want him.
Yep. Can you name the red spell that kills us?
Magmatic Sinkhole.
Yes. And that happened this weekend, but it was not enough to deal with 2 knights.
Okay. Kind of just... Our cards lined up really well, I would say.
Yep, they did, but they often do.
Right, that's the idea. Swords to Plowshares is great in the format right now. Deals with 20/20s that are trying to kill us. This deck pretty much lines up perfectly against anything that's not spell-based combo. And then the sideboard is all about spell-based combo, and you win a lot of your post-board games. Zan, closing thoughts on the deck?
I think the deck is one of the top 3 choices in the format right now. Difficult to play, but if you master it, the rewards are definitely there to claim.
The rewards are there to claim. All right. So, it's been a long time. I forgot almost how we signed off on these.
We talk about deck list down below.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, thanks so much for supporting everybody. We've been working on the stream a lot, so we've been taking a hiatus from YouTube, but we don't want to use our YouTube, or we don't want to put our YouTube only fans in a bad spot, so we are, of course, continuing to make video content for you. It's going to get better and better as we sort of work on our schedules and diversifying everything. We're really close to some really exciting, really big stuff for you guys. Very excited about that. Be sure you smash that like button to start supporting the absolute best competitive Magic content. The subscribe button really helps us. The like button is awesome. If you want to play Shrek 2, deck lists for you guys are going to be in the description box down below. And you can follow us on Twitter at MoxJeremy and Zan_Syed. And we'll see you next time. I missed you guys. We'll see you next time.
See ya. Oh, we did it. We found one.
Whoa. We went in full, like, on our phones mode.
Because it was thinking.
We were in full not playing mode. We were like, yeah. I was like on Twitter. You're like, what? Lotus Box, now powered by Coreboard Live, is proud to introduce you to all of its sponsors: Introspective, Red-Handed Art, and MTGO Traders. Use the code LotusBoxPayPal to get 8% off singles for orders over $5, and links to all of these sponsors are in the description box down below.